Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Sloan Haynes.
And I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins, and it was absolutely beautiful out across Tallahassee today, wasn't it?
It was a great day to go outside and walk to class. I really enjoyed these drier conditions that we've been seeing thanks to that sun precipitation our region had last night, but it really did cool us off too.
Yeah, portions to the east of us actually experienced some stronger thunderstorms, and even hail was reported in portions of Florida, so that's something interesting that we'll get into later on this show. But here in Tallahassee, yeah, like we said, very dry, and this will continue throughout the next few days, so go out and enjoy this weather.
Unfortunately, we'll bring up those rain chances we do see coming early next week, especially Sunday, and we'll cool down a bit then too. But for now, let's just take advantage, go outside, take your dog on a walk.
Yep, I know that's something that we enjoy doing here at FSU Weather, is just heading outside during these beautiful spring temperatures and spring conditions, because when else are you going to get this? Normally it's like 90 degrees in Florida, so.
Later up on the show, you can expect hail, as we've already mentioned. There's also some information about fire weather, which is very important, especially in the spring here in the Big Bend region, as well as some sporting events, because we do have basketball playing tomorrow night in California.
Yes, that's something that we're definitely going to watch here, and that's, yeah, they're definitely going to see a good game heading tomorrow night. And here around Florida, it's going to stay dry as we are going to head things back over to the wall. We're actually going to send things over to Tyler with a look at what's going to happen in the show today.
Thank you, Jennifer. We're going to take a quick peek at Tallahassee traffic news. Right now, we can only see Ocala and Tennessee Street, but the traffic's not too bad right now. Most of these areas, it's just going to be stoplight traffic, nothing too terrible, but absolutely beautiful outside right now. Sun's starting to set a little bit over Doak Campbell Stadium, and just clear skies. Looks great outside right now. Currently, it's 69 degrees, sunny outside, just very comfortable temperatures for this time of year. And part of this is because of this high pressure system that is starting to move into the region. That's why it's so sunny and clear outside at the moment. And it's just keeping things looking great right now. And looking tonight in Tallahassee, we're going to have clear skies. It's going to cool down a lot because of this high pressure system that's moving through, and it's going to help keep things cool in the area. And looking at Thursday, throughout the day it's going to get warmer at 77 degrees, but not too hot. We're going to keep about the same conditions that we've been seeing today, sunny and cloudy. Looking through the weekend, it's going to kind of stay like this as we go through the weekend. It's going to stay warm, but as we go through Sunday, we're going to pick up chances for showers, about 40%, and temperatures are going to dip down a little bit and back into the 70s. Coming up as we go through the show, we're going to talk more about the pollen that's coming through the region and what you can expect with that, and how it's a little bit warmer than average for this time of year, and how we're going to expect showers and storms to come through this region once the high pressure system moves out this week. But for now, I'm going to hand things off to Jennifer.
Thank you, Tyler. And as we take a look here locally around Tallahassee, we have a high pressure in place in the southeast, which is providing for a lot drier conditions across most of our area, which is, if you take a closer look, clear conditions across the Tallahassee and Big Bend area, so it's going to be fairly comfortable heading throughout tonight as well. Current temperatures in the Big Bend region, 64 degrees in Thomasville, nice comfortable temperatures, 67 degrees in Monticello, a little bit warmer along the coast as they do have a little bit of that coastal action in those areas, 71 degrees in Carabel, as well as 73 degrees in Apalachicola. Just the perfect time to be on the beach right now. Here closer to Tallahassee, across the area, 68 degrees in McClay Gardens, 66 in Tom Brown Park if you are taking your pet out to the dog park, 68 degrees along Midtown, as well as 69 degrees closer to the airport. And as we take a look at dew points, they are very low, which is meaning that we're very dry across the region. 33 degrees in Monticello, so 30s along the map. Typically we see 40 to 50 dew point ranges in the Tallahassee area, so at this time of the year in spring. So very dry conditions, along with this northeasterly wind bringing some higher gusts across the region. We are in a red flag warning here for portions of the eastern Big Bend as heading on into the Panhandle region with that fire weather warning. These stronger winds provide a little bit more fuel for those fires if one does catch up. Tonight in Tallahassee, when you wake up tomorrow morning, 42 degrees, clear conditions, perfect time to go out stargazing across the area as well. And for tomorrow, 77 degrees, Sunny conditions remain in effect with that high pressure system. Perfect time to head outside, do any outdoor activities for tomorrow because it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And a great day to head to the beach. 74 degrees for your temperature along the coastline in Apalachicola and St. George Island. 68 degrees is the water temperature, a little bit chilly for this time of the year. Mostly sunny skies. That UV index is going to stay fairly high, so make sure you layer on that sunscreen. And with the stronger winds, we do have a rougher surf if you are heading out anywhere on the water. Dry conditions remain for the next few days. 80 degrees is the high temperature for Friday. It's going to be a nice, beautiful sunshine for the next few days heading on into the weekend. Temperature 82 degrees. 40% chance of rain for Sunday with another front pushing into the region and that 50% chance of rain. Temperatures are going to go back down to 70 degrees for Monday afternoon. It's going to be absolutely pleasant heading into the weekend. So get your weekend plans in before next week. I'm going to pass things off to Parker for a look at the southeast.
Yeah, thanks, Jennifer. So, like she said, I'm going to be taking a look at the southeast with you guys. Much of the region is experiencing temperatures right now, mid to lower 70s, and up here over in the Carolinas, even into Tennessee, we have temperatures in the 60s, even in the 50s right now. So, temperatures, thanks for that camera. Temperatures a little bit lower up as we go along the East Coast. Our dew points are fairly low right now. Parts of central and southern Florida, they're a little bit higher. They did have those thunderstorms move through the area earlier, dropping some hail, which we're going to be talking about later on the show. But they're sitting over in Tampa at 50 degrees with that dew point, 55 in Miami. And then much of the bigger picture is basically just very, very low dew points, 34 in Tallahassee, and then even up to 30 in Nashville. And look at that over in Charlotte, where their temperatures are very cold right now, 20-degree dew point. Our winds are out of the northeast right now. We do see that low pressure system that's located off the east coast of Florida. That was the system that brought those heavy thunderstorms through the east coast of Florida, and we could see this clockwise rotation of the winds right here. That's that high pressure dome that's going to be moving into the area, really centralizing over the next few days and then moving out. That's why the dew points are so low. That's why the temperatures are a little bit colder, and that's basically all. Here's that high pressure centralized right over Alabama, Mississippi, parts of Tennessee, and you can see that low pressure system right off the east coast of Florida. Looking over towards the west coast, though, we do see a little bit of spin off of the west coast. That's going to be that next system that's going to be moving through within the next week or so, maybe bringing some rain for our region and parts of the southeast. Zooming in, though, looking at the satellite and radar, look, this is a live look. There's nothing too much going on. We do see a few spotted showers over here near Savannah, Georgia. Nothing to expect, though. Maybe a few clouds overnight, but like I said, nothing really to expect. Here are some of our weather alerts and advisories. A flood warning is in effect for much of the Mississippi Valley, so watch out for that if you're watching us from Louisiana and parts of Mississippi. A fire weather warning is in effect for much of the Big Bend region, including the state capital of Tallahassee. I woke up this morning to a red flag warning. That means dew points are very low and fire weather is very hazardous at this moment. If you can avoid at all costs, please do not spark any fires, don't have any campfires, because if they do get out of hand, they will spread rather quickly. Here's that forecast model. You can really see that spin right there off the East Coast. This is going to be tracking into Friday night. Hopefully after FSU beats Gonzaga tomorrow night, we will see clear skies, and then moving on to Friday will make it even more beautiful and celebratory here at FSU. So with those clouds moving in over the weekend, we can expect maybe a few rain showers here and there, maybe a few thunderstorms here and there, but nothing too much to expect. And then for tonight, much of the southeast covered in mid-40s, upper 50s down here in Florida, and should be a relatively beautiful night. And carrying over into tomorrow, sunny skies for much of the southeast, few partly cloudy skies, and that's basically it. Here's our influenza index. This is the flu. Because it's really dry and not humid at all, we do have flu-like symptoms in the air. So much of the southeast you can see is in red. Note that much of the United States is actually in red. So just be careful, take necessary precautions if you do need to treat your symptoms of flu. I'm actually going to carry things over to the desk with Melissa. How are we doing?
Thank you, Parker. We're doing great. We've got lots to discuss when it comes to that fire weather you were just talking about.
Yeah, so let's note on that.
Yeah, so with currently for fire weather and the warnings we're under, it's a red flag warning. To meet the criteria for this warning, you need sustained winds of 15 miles per hour and low relative humidity. So we are borderline.
Yeah, we're very borderline. Those winds that you talked about, they were gusting up to 20 miles per hour here earlier.
So significant.
Yeah, I was sitting in class and I noticed that, you know, I heard the wind whistling as I was just sitting there taking notes, and I look out the window and trees are just
And that is bad news
blowing.
if a fire sparks up in the region. It means it will travel rapidly with that flow.
Yeah, we actually had some fires spark up last night.
Yes, okay, so yesterday evening in Panama City, Florida, Bay County, there are a couple small fires and a couple fires that are actually being tackled by the local fire departments for significant parts of the afternoon into the evening.
Wow, that's amazing.
So they're already having to work. This will continue throughout the summer, and do you know what's actually causing this raised threat?
It's that very dry weather that we're experiencing right now.
And there's a little bit more to it. The Hurricane Michael down to so many trees.
Oh, okay.
That with these rays, when we meet this criteria of the wind flow, and we meet this criteria of like high pressure bringing us these low relative humidities, there's a lot of downed trees that are acting as fuel. So when the wind blows, that sparked fire, it starts to travel rapidly. It's got a lot to latch onto, and it's got a lot to burn with.
I hadn't even thought about that. You know what doesn't even help either? That cold front that came through central parts of Florida today.
Yes.
We didn't get any rain from that,
Not
but
much
they
rain.
did.
Yeah, not
so
much rain.
that improves the drier conditions for us. But that's all for us right here at the desk. We're going to send things over to Sloan right now at the wall.
Thanks, guys. As you can see right here behind, actually on the screen, is the sun setting behind Doak right now. It's a beautiful day outside. We've had some cooler temperatures today, which has brought a lot of sunshine into our area. 69 degrees right now. We were about 70 degrees earlier today, so very warm, a bit cooler than what we've been seeing, but favorable conditions throughout much of the day. Again, nothing's really happening for us right here in the Big Bend region. No clouds even in sight. Last night we did have those showers, which really caused us to dry out. Currently sitting in the 70s, higher 60s for much of the Big Bend region. Thompson, Valdosta up there about 64 degrees. They've had some cloud cover here today, but much warmer down there at the coast in Apalachicola and Carabel, where they have a lot more moisture coming onshore. If we take a look at the area temps right here, we see that we're sticking pretty close to 70 near the airport, 69 degrees there, Lake Talquin at 71, and up there at McClay Gardens 67. So be sure to go outside tonight, take advantage of this beautiful weather, and go watch that sunset. As I've mentioned, we have been pretty dry as of lately. 30 degrees up there, Bainbridge at 14, which just causes us to have this red flag warning for fire weather. Stronger winds, dry dew points can spread fires quicker, so adding fuel to the fire, as Jennifer did say. Looking at the wind speeds, we are blowing from the northeast. The winds are a bit strong, which adds to this red flag warning. So again, be careful of your campfires and anything else that could start a fire. Looking into the evening, not a lot happening. We still have these winds coming, a few clouds in there Thursday evening, no rain. Friday morning, though, we do see this wind switch occur, which is going to start bringing some moisture onshore for us. Some clouds towards the western portion of our region, but no rain in sight. And as Parker mentioned, it'd be a great way for us to celebrate that win over Gonzaga. Tonight in Tallahassee, 42 degrees, clear skies. It's a great night to go outside, but it's also a smart idea to keep that rain jacket on, or the sweatshirt on you rather, just because it's been a bit cooler than what we've been seeing here in Tallahassee over the past few days. Tomorrow, though, reaching 80 with a high of 77, sunny still, some clouds here or there, but no precipitation in sight again. Looking at Thursday, though, chilly start again, 46 degrees, mild conditions throughout much of the day as we warm up to about 75 at 4 p.m. and then cooling off to about 67 at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. If we take a look at the beach, 76 degrees, a light chop, seas about 2 to 3 feet. We do have a bit stronger winds, about 10 to 15 knots. And then we do have a pollen index, as we've noticed. Our pollen has been very high as of lately, which is why your nose might have been running in the morning. So make sure you take that Zyrtec. Our warm spring continues over the next few days as these rain chances come back into the picture this weekend. But for now, I'm going to pass things off to Jennifer to take a look at the nation.
Thank you, Sloan. And yes, as we take a look at things happening across the nation, fairly not too much happening across portions of the southeast as a result of that high pressure ridging into the area. It's just keeping with the lower dew points, much drier conditions. A lot warmer along the central portion of the United States, 75 degrees in Dallas. Cooler along portions of the northwest, 58 degrees in Seattle. Dew points are very low across portions of the Rocky Mountains. A little bit higher dew points as we get into the central portion of the United States. I'll go into this a little more detail later. There is the southerly flow bringing in a lot more moisture in that area. But that high pressure digging into the southeast, it's just providing a lot drier conditions for areas like Tallahassee. We do have that high pressure. You can tell by that clockwise flow around the high pressure, which is situated just over portions of northern Georgia, bringing in that flow. And it is bringing a lot more winds and a lot more moisture into portions of the central United States. You can tell by this graphic. Upper level winds are bringing a lot drier conditions into the southeast, and it is providing, with that turn heading into portions of Texas, a lot more moisture into these regions as well. A little bit of some pop-up showers developing in the central plains as well for that area. Heading into the northeast, very dry across the area, just a few cloud heading into portions of Massachusetts as well as Connecticut. Some showers developing in areas of Canada as well, but not really affecting the United States anytime soon. There is a small craft advisory for the coastal areas of the New England areas, as well as a gale warning for western Michigan along the coastline there. And still that flood warning remains in effect for most of the rivers across the central plains. They have had a lot of flooding in those areas as well. In the southeast, that high pressure keeping things very dry across the areas of the southeast, including Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. There is a low off the coast, which is providing a little bit more moisture off the coast of Florida, but not much activity happening along the coastline there. That red flag warning remains in effect for portions of the Panhandle heading into the 7 o'clock hour. Frost advisories for portions of South Carolina, including Columbia up in those areas, as well as digging down into portions of Georgia as well. And the flood warning remains in effect for portions of the Mississippi River. High pressure along the southeast again, but we do have some more rain heading into portions of the west coast as a result of that occluded front in those regions. Just some cloud cover across portions of the central United States. Should stay fairly dry throughout the next few days. There is a flood watch in effect for portions of southern North Dakota. They will see a little bit of rain in these areas. Wind advisory remains in effect for portions of central Kansas, including Wichita, and that flood warning remains in effect for portions of the rivers along with areas including Omaha, Nebraska, where they've seen a lot of rain and a lot of flooding in these areas as well. Florida's winter storm watch is in effect for portions of Wyoming, and winter weather advisory for southern Montana, including Billings, Montana as well. Tonight's forecast, a bit chilly in the northern portions of the country, 36 degrees in Minneapolis, 54 degrees in Kansas. Some rain can be expected in Chicago as well as Detroit, 46 degrees in Chicago. Tomorrow it's going to be a warm one for San Antonio, 79 degrees, 75 degrees in Dallas, 73 in Memphis, a lot drier conditions in the southeast. That's going to stick around for the next few days. 69 degrees in Atlanta and 77 here in Tallahassee. So I'm going to bring things back to the desk with Tyler. We're going to talk a little bit of what happened in Florida this morning.
Yes, there was hail as large as golf balls pummeling parts of Florida last night.
Yes, it's actually incredible imagery. Hail in central Florida. This was the city of Trenton, which is about 30 miles to the west of Gainesville. They saw ice accumulate, and it actually looks like snow on the ground, doesn't it?
Yes. And there was reports of even golf ball size hail on the Space Coast, which is a very rare occurrence in Florida. Usually happens more in the middle of the country.
Yes, and that is the result of the fact that normally in Florida you don't really see colder pockets of air in the upper levels. However, this morning it was favorable because there was cold air in the upper levels, so it allowed for updrafts to bring the air up and create some hail pellets that formed along the grounds. But this isn't normal here in Florida. Get every once in a while, sometimes in the summer when we get some colder air moving into the region. But yeah, not very common here in Florida. I know my brother is over in the Space Coast, and he experienced the hail at his work this morning.
And I also have family in the Space Coast region, and they told me that they had neighbors with pool screens that kind of got ripped through by this hail, as well as windows. So not something very normal for this region. It caused a lot of damage for some people.
Yeah, and a more closer look at the weather that we're not going to have any more severe thunderstorms like that, but we are going to have some drier conditions. Sloan's going to give us a look at that around Florida.
Thanks, guys. As we've seen, we do have that high pressure system dominating much of the southeast, including Florida right now, which has caused much of the state to have mild conditions today, a bit cooler than what we've been seeing. But we do see that disturbance off the east coast of Florida there, which has been bringing some coastal showers to the east coast. But other than that, not a lot is happening in Florida. We do see some clouds, but again, a beautiful day here in the Sunshine State. If we take a look at this upper level water vapor, we do see this dry air coming through, which has been as a result of that front passing through our state as of this morning, which is what brought us that hail early this morning and later last night, causing us to have these mild, fair conditions. Taking a look at the temperatures for the rest of the state, though, we are warmer down south, which is expected as of this time of year, as they stick to the mid-70s, a bit warmer than we were about 4 degrees today, because we reached about 70 degrees in Tallahassee. We do see where those clouds are coming to effect, but no precipitation in sight as of today. Taking a look at the dew point, though, we do get a bit more moisture down south, which they do have the coastal breezes on both sides of the peninsula, which brings them these higher dew points. But again, we are very dry, which adds to our red flag warning rather. Taking a look at the wind speeds, we do see the wind speeds blowing from the northeast in the Panhandle. But if we take a look at the east coast, we do see that low pressure system off the coast. There's actually 2 there. And as they begin to develop over the next few days, they're going to start rotating around each other, bringing a few more showers to the east coast. We do see the showers coming in effect tomorrow actually in West Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale, as their temperatures are sticking closer to 80 and cloud cover throughout the rest of South Florida. And Key West, again, sunny down there at 79 degrees. At the east coast, though, we are sticking to the mid-70s. No rain in sight for the Space Coast, though, as they stick to the 75 for much of the region. Clouds here or there. But if we take a look at their beach forecast for tomorrow, 75 degrees for your air temperature and 70 degrees with water. A bit warmer than what we saw in the Panhandle beaches. Sunny, and that UV index is very high, so make sure you are wearing your sunscreen. Tomorrow, though, for the northeast, mild temperatures. The coast is sticking closer to what we saw here in the Panhandle today, near 70, but as we go inland towards Gainesville and Ocala, we're closer to 80 again. So it's going to be a nice day to make sure that you're hydrated and make sure you wear sunscreen when you go outdoors. For the Panhandle, though, sticking to the 75 Panama City, and as we go west of it, we used to be cool off at Destin at 70 and Pensacola at 72, but sunshine is the theme again tomorrow for much of the state, so take advantage of this spring-like weather. Into the next few days, we do see those showers coming up behind me there. Not a lot happening on the west side, but we see the showers coming on shore, especially on Friday. They had a line of showers for South Florida, so it would be a good idea to keep that rain jacket or that umbrella on you if you are in that region. But for tonight, cooler in the Panhandle, about 40 degrees. As we look east, we're going 50 as we go south. We do see that rain is coming in West Palm Beach as they stick to 64 and Key West at 67. But for tomorrow, we do have rain in the south, as I've already mentioned, but those temperatures are very mild and very warm for this time of the year. But for now, I'm going to pass things off to Melissa to take a look back at the Big Bend.
Thank you.
Low level weeds, we've got medium, and thankfully, for a lot of portions that are still dealing with structural damage with Hurricane Michael, mold level is low environmentally, so that should help with your structures, hopefully. Currently, though, in Tallahassee, 69 degrees, sunny conditions with a north-northeasterly wind, 9 miles per hour. So that's helping kind of dry us out and is associated with the high pressure with our clockwise winds, north-northeasterly winds, and bringing those dew points down low. Our relative humidity is low due to this as well. Current temperatures across the region, we have 69 in Tallahassee, Monticello at 67, and 73 in Apalachicola. Those, zooming in a little closer to the students that are studying in the area. With this sunny weather, 66 degrees in Tom Brown Park. Take your dogs out, enjoy the weather. You have a couple days to do that, so no rush, but it's there for you. Midtown is 69 if you want to get out for the afternoon after classes and enjoy the town. You have great temperatures to do that in. Those low relative humidity means current dew points are low as well. We're feeling dry, and it is contributing to the current fire weather watch and the red flag we're under. And those wind speeds associated with that high dominating the region is coming out of the northeast, and that's where we're getting close borderline to really meeting those 15-mile-per-hour winds that are required to get that red flag warning for the current fire weather in the region across the area. And throughout tonight, we maintain this pattern. Cloud coverage minimal, and those winds are going to shift and come out from the south by tomorrow evening. And that is going to eventually, throughout later in the weekend, as the high moves out of the region, bring our rain chances back into the area. But for tonight, we keep clear skies, low of 42 degrees, and throughout the evening, a little bit lower miles per hour than that wind coming from the northeast. So tomorrow you're waking up with a chilly start at 46 degrees, but I would bring like a light jacket that you can take off, because while we have mild temperatures throughout the noon, we warm back up to 75. So if that's a little warm for you, you might want to take a layer off. If you're going to be out on the boat, perfect weather for it. Tomorrow, sunshine, 76 degrees, and maybe you don't want to get on a boat. Maybe you want to lay out in the sand. Didn't get to over spring break. 74 degrees tomorrow to do that, and you can cool off with a nice chilly 68 degrees in the water. So taking a look at our 7-day forecast, that weather sticks around throughout the week, and our temperatures will dip as that rain chances move back into the region Monday, and that will be into the mid-70s, back up to the high 70s by next Wednesday, and our lows maintain high 40s in the low 50s. So I'm going to hand things off to Parker and Sloan for our FSU weather wrap-up.
Thanks, Melissa. As you just saw, we have a beautiful weekend ahead of us here in Tallahassee, despite those rain chances coming in on Sunday. But with that being said, we have a lot of sporting events lined up this week, especially beach volleyball Friday and Saturday. On Friday, they'll be going against Grand Canyon Tulane very early in the morning, 7:30 and 11:30 in the morning, and then UCLA and FIU on Saturday in the morning as well. So be sure to go out there and support your Lady Seminoles.
Yeah, those are very early times. I sure won't be attending those games.
We'll have those cooler temperatures though.
Yeah, there you go. You're looking at those temperatures right now. Waking up Saturday, we're going to be 53 degrees with a high of 82. That's fairly comfortable. That's pretty right for this time of year. And then Sunday, a small chance of rain, 40%. That'll probably be expected towards the afternoon. But baseball, we'll carry on with the sports. Baseball, we'll play Boston College Friday at 5 p.m. Temperatures will be cooling off a little bit as the sun starts to go down. The high for Friday is 80 degrees, so we can expect temperatures probably around 70 for the start of that game.
But be sure to follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather. If you do attend these sporting events, tweet at us.
Yeah, and you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And if you're watching us live on YouTube right now, thank you. And be sure to watch all of our old ones too at FSU Weather.
And you can follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather.
We will be playing Gonzaga tomorrow night in California.
Yeah, so my bracket for March Madness is busted, but hopefully FSU busts up Gonzaga tomorrow during that basketball game. But for all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Parker Beasley.
And I'm student meteorologist Sloan Haynes. Have a great night.